All-Star Team Up in 2K was a certified hood classic. It was the one place where casuals and tryhards could both load up, pick from the best players in the game, talk trash, and just hoop. There was no builds, and more importantly, there was no VC. You'd have all-time great matchups going on while everybody in game chat was trash talking the whole time.
Brown sucks in this game.
So today I hopped on All-Star Team Up in 2K26 to see if it still holds up, or if 2K ruined another mode that was once great.
Thanks for joining us live for NBA basketball on 2K Sports.
All-Star Team Up is one of the most straightforward modes in 2K. You load in, pick from a roster of legends and current stars, and then get dropped into a 5-on-5 game. There's no builder, no grind, no VC involved, just straight basketball. What made it so unique was that it gave everyone something. For grinders, it was a break, a mode where they could just sit back, run with friends, and hoop without having to worry about progression. And for casual players, it was their chance to finally use high-rated star players without having to spend hours in my career or dropping any money on VC. And even though there was no VC, this mode was still very competitive and the trash talk was insane.
3 seconds.
I just got in there, you idiot.
And that's exactly why in the early 2010s, this balance made All-Star Team Up a fan favorite. My career was still simple, my team wasn't dominating the game yet, and All-Star Team Up gave you a chance to play out matchups you've never seen anywhere else.
Dwight versus Kareem. Yep, that's a GG.
Legends from different eras all sharing the same floor. And that's what made it stand out. You'd load in, the crowd would be buzzing, the commentary would be talking about the lineups, and every matchup felt like it was a once-in-a-lifetime game. It wasn't just another mode. It felt like you were there and part of All-Star Weekend inside of 2K. But once you load into All-Star Team Up in 2K26, it's very clear from the jump, it is not the same mode we remember. The biggest difference in 2K26 All-Star Team Up isn't what's there, it's what's gone. Back in the older 2Ks, this mode had full presentation, real commentary, an actual arena, and 4 quarters of basketball. And all of that made it feel alive and unique. And it gave All-Star Team Up its own identity. And when we look at the mode now, none of that's there. There's no commentary, no All-Star atmosphere. You're stuck in a generic rec-style gym that kills the vibe completely. And instead of 4 quarters, the games are played in 2 halves, almost like college. It doesn't feel like All-Star Team Up at all. It just feels like they slapped a different label on rec and called it a day. And look, I don't even hate 2K. I've actually really been enjoying a lot of what we've played so far, but someone needs to bring up these issues because if nobody calls it out, they'll just keep doing it year after year, and I have no problem being the one to say it. It feels like 2K looked at what they did with Triple Threat Park last year in MyTEAM and thought, let's do the same thing with rec and call All-Star Team Up so people get excited and hyped for the game. And the crazy part is, it works. People see All-Star Team Up is back and think that they're getting the classic mode, when in reality, this is something totally different. And to make things worse, the WNBA players feel like they were thrown in without balance. They add a huge disadvantage online. And right now, it honestly feels like they were added to make the odds of pulling the stars we actually want in packs even worse. Which, surprise, surprise, means people end up spending more money on packs. In the game I played, I ended up going up against a WNBA player, and I ended the game with 4 blocks just on that player alone. And that's not because I was using a lockdown defender, it was because she was so much smaller and she had no chance every time she came near the rim. And that just makes the mode feel so unbalanced. And then on top of that, 3 players on the other team quit halfway through. And honestly, that tells you everything you need to know about this game mode. It's not even about whether this new version is fun, it's about the fact that it sure as hell isn't the All-Star Team Up that we once knew and loved. And once you break it down, the problems only get worse. I'll be real with you, I've actually been enjoying 2K26 so far. The gameplay has been solid, the modes are fun, and for the most part, it feels like a step in the right direction. But stuff like this is what upsets players and makes them not want to buy the game in the future because you're lying to your consumer. And that's because every single year, 2K false advertises and hypes up things that aren't true. And All-Star Team Up is the perfect example. They told us the mode is back, and people got hyped thinking we were getting the classic All-Star Team Up experience again. Instead, what we got was a half-assed MyTEAM Rec Center mode. That's not bringing back All-Star Team Up. That's tricking people into buying your game. And it's not just this one mode. Think about how they roll out information every year. The biggest news about the game that is the most important doesn't even drop until a week before launch. That is Con Artist 101. They drip feed us just enough to keep the hype going. Then cash in before people realize what's actually in the game. And the crazy part is, they don't even need to do this anymore. People were genuinely excited for All-Star Team Up to come back, and instead, we get this lazy, half-assed version that nobody asked for. That's what makes this so frustrating. And the old mode that we loved was simple. It was like a play now online with friends. And that's what makes it hurt even more when they do stuff like this. Because why? There was no reason to do it. And here's the crazy part. Even with all of that, there are still flashes of why All-Star Team Up was loved in the first place. When you finally get into a decent game and the teams are balanced, it reminds you of how fun it is to just pick legends and current stars and just hoop. No grinding, no worrying about badges, no VC, just basketball. Whether it's throwing lobs to Shaq, hitting threes with Ray Allen, or running pick and rolls with Magic and Kareem, those moments still hit different. And it shows that the foundation for a great mode is still sitting right there. That's what makes all of this even harder to deal with, because the potential is right in front of us, but 2K refuses to actually build on it. Instead, they strip away the presentation, cut the quarters in half, throw it in a rec center gym, and call it a day. And at the same time, they make it based around MyTEAM, which is another cash cow in 2K's game. And it's so frustrating because you can see how easy it would be to make this mode great again. They just won't do it unless it's centered around something with microtransactions like MyTEAM and packs. So yeah, All-Star Team Up in 2K26 can still give you glimpses of that old magic, but as a whole, it's nowhere near what it used to be. So they used the name All-Star Team Up and brought it back technically, but really, this is a stripped down mode without full presentation, without any commentary, and the worst part, it's centered around MyTEAM, so you can only choose your MyTEAM cards to bring into games. And before, you could just select any all-star or past legend at that position. So basically, at the end of the day, we went from this.
Thanks for joining us live for NBA basketball on 2K Sports.
To this. Which is a huge downgrade, and it really sucks because deep down, everyone knows this could be one of the best casual modes in the game. It wouldn't take much, just bring back the presentation, keep the game 4 quarters, and let us relive the classic team up vibes. If they did that, players would be on this mode all year long. All-Star Team Up in 2K26 has the name we recognize, but not the experience we expected. It has a few fun moments, sure, but it isn't the same mode we grew up on. And until 2K actually commits to making it what it should be, it's always just gonna feel like a missed opportunity. And that leads me to the question that matters the most. How do you guys feel about All-Star Team Up in 2K26? Like I said, I've been enjoying 2K26 and having a lot of fun. It's just things like this are really puzzling to me. But that's all for me. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. And remember, stay saucy.
Ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar.
What is that?